What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're with Chris, and today I'll be sharing with you all my reading possibilities for August. I do have a fair list here and I'm very excited, but there are a couple of titles that have carried over from July because I just didn't have time to get to them, so I'll give another try for those ones in August, but I do have a fair stack here to get through, so I thought I'll start off with the physical books first. And the first one off the stack is going to be Of Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill, book 1 in the Bound and the Broken fantasy series. The reason I have moved this to the front of the line for August is because I became seduced by his prequel novella to the series called The Fall. I read it last Sunday and it was absolutely sensational. In 95 pages, it was such an epic story, and the characterization and the what was alluded to as what has happened in the past and what foundation is laid for the future of the series is just too tempting to pass up. So I am looking forward to this one. It has been recommended very favourably on Booktube. Prominent booktubers like Patrick Leo, Mike over at Mike's Book Reviews, and my main man John over at Talking Story have all fully endorsed it, as well as Dr. Philip Chase as well. So the consensus is it's very, very popular and very fast paced and just very, very good. So I don't have any issue jumping on that bandwagon. The next book I would like to read, this is a carryover from July. I didn't get to this one and I would really like to read it in August, and that is The Housemaid is Watching by Freida McFadden. Book number 3 in the Housemaid series. I enjoyed the first 2 books because the both books had mega twists towards the end that keeps you guessing all the way through, which is a real feature of Freida McFadden's writing that I really like, and I am really looking forward to sinking my teeth into this one. I have been a little bit strapped for time during the month of July, haven't had as much time to read as I normally would, so I have fallen a little bit behind, and I aim to rectify that in August. The next physical book I've got is one I mentioned in previous weeks on the channel, and that is All the Colours of the Dark. This one is a very thick book. It's about 600 pages, 250 chapters, and it is a big mystery novel which spans decades. So I'm actually looking forward to getting into that one, and I really need to prioritize this one as well because the premise really fascinates me, and really looking forward to it. I have never read Chris Whitaker before. This will be my first taste of his fiction, but he's very highly regarded and very well endorsed from famous writers as well, who have chipped in on the blurb on the back. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Another one I have been putting off and I really need to get to is The Death Watcher by Chris Carter, a fantastic writer. He does the Detective Robert Hunter series, which is set in LA, and it involves Detective Hunter solving very heinous crimes using his superior intellect. He is genius level intelligent, and the fascinating thing about this character is that he could have been any number of things with the intelligence he has, but instead he chose his vocation as being a detective and thinking outside the square and using ingenuity to solve different crimes. Now, the last book I read by Chris Carter for the series was called Genesis, and I absolutely loved it. It was the best of the whole series, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one shapes up as well. Really looking forward to that. Now, something a little bit new that I wanted to get to is another fantasy title, and this is called Kagen the Damned by Jonathan Mayberry. Jonathan Mayberry, yeah. And I've heard nothing but good things about this book, and this is a trilogy at the moment. I think book 3 comes out next month, in fact. So I need to get my arse in gear if I want to get caught up, but it looks really, really good, and it's been highly recommended on Booktube as well. And more importantly, I was going to do a buddy read for this with Scott from the Bookish Brides, who sadly passed away this year. So in honour of him, I'm going to be reading. I said I'd read this before the end of the year, so I've chosen to pick this one up in August as well. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Now, let's talk about some digital titles I would like to read. I think there's only one actually, and that is Small Town Horror by Ronald Malfi, which is reputed to be reminiscent of Stephen King's It, which sounds really good about how someone has to go back to their childhood home and deal with an evil that has resided there, and involves his childhood friends as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that compares with It, which should be really, really good. Now, there's another book I've got which is coming on the 20th of August. That's when it's released, and that is a new Jack Ryan book called Shadow State by MP Woodward. Now, MP Woodward is an author I haven't come across before, and this will be a debut entry for him into the Ryanverse series. So I'm going to be interested to see what his take is on it. It's going to be a Jack Ryan Jr. novel, and MP Woodward, when I did a little bit of research on him, he's written a couple of books in the Handler series, which is a thriller series which looks pretty interesting, but other than that, I don't know too much about MP Woodward. I just hope he does really well for the series, and I'll be keen to see what happens there. It involves Jack Ryan Jr. being stranded in Vietnam, so we'll see how that goes, but it's very, very exciting. And the last book I want to talk about is a last-minute potential read. Now, it's been upgraded in the last half hour from potential to definite. Now, I watched John's video from Talking Story this morning about his TBR for August, and he is going to be reading this one. And he said in the video, I don't know if Chris is reading this one or not, but I was toying with the idea of reading one of Brandon Sanderson's secret project titles, namely Tress of the Emerald Sea. But then after hearing John talk about this one on his channel that he's going to be doing in August, I had to jump on the bandwagon, and I messaged him and I said, let's do a buddy read, let's do another buddy read. So I'm going to be reading The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson, the fourth book in the Mistborn Era 2 series, which I absolutely loved, and this one is reputed to have a lot of Cosmere connections and things like that, which I'm craving at the moment because I always love a bit of Cosmere crossover. In Oathbringer, when we read that, there were major Cosmere crossovers and hints and things like that of what is to come, and this one is meant to have some real revelations there in terms of the Cosmere in general. So looking forward to this one. Now, normally I don't do TBRs, I don't tie myself down to them, but something like this is going to be a definite read for me. We're just going to I'm going to wait for when he's actually doing it. He will know when he's doing it in early August so that we can plan for it and make room for it. I think we've both got extremely busy reading schedules. It's just insane. I have so many books to get through. It is just not funny. If I get through a lot of these books, I'm going to be pretty happy. It's a fairly big ask though. I mean, look at this. The physical books, this is a stack and a half. Look at this. Ridiculous. But, if I was to get through 2, 4, 5 of these books, I'd be pretty happy, but there is some work cut out for me, and July has been a bit of a challenging month. I haven't had as much time up my sleeve. I have been doing other projects and things like that. Maybe I shouldn't have started a 2,000-piece jigsaw puzzle that you can see over the back there, which is slow going, but I do like the odd jigsaw at times. So I've been dividing my spare time between doing that and reading. Now, currently, I am just about halfway through Act of Defiance, the latest Jack Ryan book, and I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm hoping to finish it. I'd like to get my review out for that one by Saturday, if I can, so that I can go into next week all fresh with another read, which I plan on doing an indie book for that one. So that is it for my reading possibilities for August. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers, and I will aim to deliver the best content I can. Offer up any comments below as always, but until the next video, guys, happy reading.